All right, let me ask you this, right? You're also good at helping curate battles behind the scenes. At this point in your career, you said you're actively working to, help things go along the right way and make certain matchups happen. Can ARP help this Hitman Holla Murda Mook battle happen? Can you help make this happen? The fans been wanting it. It's the biggest
Yeah.
battle that the culture been wanting. What's up with that?
So today I can't. Once upon a time I could. I had the
Oh
opportunity to do
wow.
it. I had the opportunity to do it multiple times. Um, One time, it just went the way that it went. That's when Mook decided to retract out of all of the contract and the deal and everything. The second time, there was an offer that was put towards me, but I was already retired. So I stepped back, and I was more so playing that role at the time, trying to see if I could help it happen either on Chrome and then on URL after that. You know what I'm saying? But now,
So you tried to get the battle done on URL as well? Like you was like,
100%.
nigga, hell yeah, do this. Wow.
That's one of the reasons why I called Holla, or I text them 911, get out of spaces and call me, because something's going on with Gerald. You know what I'm saying? Gerald was starting the initial deposits to get the ball rolling to get Holla and Mook to ink on URL. Like when Holla's going through these negotiations, I'm aware of them, and I'm right there, doing whatever I can to help it happen on URL. You know what I'm saying? So I played my parts behind the scenes multiple times, whether it was related to RBE, whether it was related to Chrome, or whether it was related to URL. And I've exhausted that at this point. I think those two guys are well capable of coming together and getting it done. They don't need me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Mook has been in the culture long enough. And Holla is also expanded to knowing how to run events and being a full-fledged league owner. He had event of the year of last year. You know what I'm saying? So,
Facts. That was a good
I'm
one.
yeah, that matchup, I think if it's gonna happen, those two guys some in some form will make it happen. Or maybe somebody else will once again reach out to them. Could be URL, could be King of the Dot, maybe Chrome, whoever. Maybe Bags and Bodies makes it happen. Maybe Calico makes it happen. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But it probably won't be any dealings with me in regards to that matchup behind the scenes. But that doesn't mean I won't fully support it. If that battle happens, I'll be right there as a fan. I'll be right there promoting it. I'll be having my popcorn just like everybody else. I want to see it. But as far as behind the scenes, like, I'm not involved in that battle or that matchup.
Do you think it can happen? Because like it just seems like these guys they want it to happen, but they're like as far as negotiations and when they finally get to the details, it's like they're at opposite ends of the mindset to actually get it done, sign contracts and things like that.
I definitely think it could happen. Honestly, I think it should have happened. Um, Multiple times. I think it should have happened. But at the same time, everybody has their own take on negotiations or business or how they want to move or the decisions that they make. So, in my opinion, it really doesn't matter as far as me thinking that it should have happened. But I feel like once they get to a point where, it feels like everything is fair and everything is logical, I think neither one of those guys is scared to sign a dotted line. I mean, me seeing Mook battle on Cal's league, I'm very, very of the opinion that the business, and I don't know the actual contract, but I'm just my opinion. I'm very, very of the opinion that when Mook battled Arsenal, that negotiation can be, or at least was in previous offers, either better or similar, right? So if they went
Okay.
back and forth, if they went back and forth, and an issue was, prior to him battling Arsenal, I feel like if something similar comes back around again, well, what would be the reason for it not to? Unless there's just, something
Gotcha.
about the Mook and Arsenal battle that we don't know that is just way game changing business wise versus what Holla could put on the table for Mook. Right. So, and
Gotcha.
I think they both went their separate ways. And one thing that Holla did is Holla showed like, all right, cool. Like, I'm not waiting. Like, my man ARP retired. Cool. I was talking with Rem for a second. It's not working out. Cool. Talking with Beasley for a couple weeks. It's not working out. Cool. All right, Mook. Let's do it on Bags and Bodies. They don't line up. Right? They're not agreeing with certain things. All right, cool. I'm going to do my own shit, and I'm going to go grab Geechee, and I'm going to have the event of the year and a promo run of the year for the main event. So he shows his capabilities, he shows his business, and you know what I'm saying? And it's like that box is now checked. Mook goes off and he battles Arsenal, and you know, I know Mook and Calico have a friendship. So does that mean that business was the same? Like, is Mook charging Calico the same that he would charge me when that's his friend? I don't know. Does he have ownership in things that he was looking to have with Holla? I don't know. If he doesn't, then that's more reasons for them to make it happen. Right? Because we're assuming that it didn't happen on Bags and Bodies because of some type of misagreements. So if those things are not happening with your friend Calico, then, you know, but I can't answer those things because I don't know his business with Calico. And shout out to Cal once again, shout out to Mook. So those are questions. Those are questions to ask those guys. I'm pretty sure if you ask Holla, and I would definitely be a guy to tell yo Holla, like, you could offer him a similar deal. Like, I know that y'all feel a way towards each other at times, and I'm pretty sure Holla would be like, yeah, I could make this happen, you know, before I go do something on my own again. Because I'll give niggas the option to work with me once again. You see what I could do, you know. And you could ask Mook the question. You could ask Mook the question, what's different or what's better? This is the question that you ask Mook. What's better about the deal that Holla offered you versus what you accepted with Calico? Did you make, you know, $250,000? Like, how did that? Well, and I'm not saying he's going to answer his contract, but I'm just curious.
Of course not. Yeah.
Because I did see when Mook said, somebody said, it's something business related. Asked him, and his answer was just like, I just showed you. He's like, I just showed you why I did with Cal instead of the others. So I don't know what that means, though. When he said, I just showed you, I don't know what that means. Only Mook knows what that means.
Okay.
You know, business wise, only Mook knows what that means. And if he can answer that generally, then maybe that even gives indicators to Holla whether they're on the same page or not. Because if they're not talking directly, they can talk indirectly. Mook could say something about when he says, I just showed you, and Holla could say, I see what you're talking about, or I'm alluding to. Let me get on the phone with Van, or your ARP, make this call for me, or boom, boom, and then maybe they're aligned, or maybe they ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I think it can happen, but it's up to those two guys.
Who's the A side in this battle?
Holla.
That was easy. Why you feel like Holla's A side?
He's the biggest draw in battle rap, right? So it's hard not to make Holla the A side in any matchup. Like, to move Holla to the B side, you need to meet. Like, if it's my platform, I'm gonna put Holla on the right side of the flyer if I go grab somebody from the industry that's a bigger artist and name and draw than him. I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, or worst case scenario, I'll just make 2 flyers, like whatever. Like, if those guys have an issue with who's the A side and B side, because that's always chatter in the battle rap world, then just make 2 flyers. You know what I'm saying? Make one flyer where Holla's on the A side and Mook and give them to those so they can post their own fucking flyers and not feel away. Like, who the fuck? There's ways around that stupid shit. But when you just talk about the reality of draw in battle rap, when you talk about turnover, when you talk about profit, when you talk about numbers, that's the black and white stuff. That's not like, oh, that's Holla's friend, and no, that's the black and white stuff that you don't argue. That's not preference. That's not opinion. That's not friend. That's black and white. You know what I'm saying?
So black and white, Holla is the biggest draw in battle rap.
Yeah, the only person, I do, when you're in my spot, you hear things. So I didn't directly work with him, but I do have a roundabout on Lux, right?
Okay.
I think something comparable also will be Surf's Return, right? If Surf's Return, if he does battle, and if he comes back and he's moving a certain way and the energy is just so electric, and I think it's gonna be. It's the right matchup, it's the right platform, it's the right card, it's the right rollout, it's the right promo, then that will be up there as one of the biggest A-side draws. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, I've worked with these guys. You know what I'm saying? I worked with Holla, I worked with Mook, I worked with Hitman, I worked with Cassidy, and some of these guys multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So like I have numbers, and I'm not an anomaly where it's like, oh, he came in and you can't really gauge his numbers. I did the shit for 10 plus years. Yeah, I know what's what. You know what I'm saying? I know other league shit too. So and I'm tapped in with the Rap Grill homies. You know, take that how you want to take it.
Got you. Okay. I'm sure Mook is gonna look at you like ain't nobody bigger than Murda Mook. Like I don't know what you talking about.
Listen. Mook will have that opinion, and he could argue it, or he cannot give a shit. Like that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like put it this way though. In all reality, the biggest matchups is when you have two of those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's max out one type shit. That's where like matchup nobody asked for, but it's Cassidy and Hitman. Watch this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's actual history and grudge with Hitman and Mook. So you don't get that without both of them being who they are. But if you separate them, you stand them on their own, and you say black and white, who is the bigger draw? Holla is the top guy in the entire culture. And I don't know why people continue to ask me or him or anybody that question. It's right there for everybody, you know, to see.
You know, I seen Holla, I believe, I don't know if it was like late December or early January, where he posted the numbers. His numbers with Geechee, Mook with Arsenal, and he was basically like the first few day numbers, and he was basically saying like it's not comparable as far as on YouTube, the drops and things like that. You know, does that, like, to you, does that continue to prove that point in a sense?
I mean, the numbers and the accolades will always be racked up. You know, there's people that will always not be on the side of numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron is going to dominate all numbers, and you're still going to have people that say Jordan is better. That's for people that say like Mook is number one. Like it comes down to personal preference sometimes. Like, and everybody gauges it different. How you create your Mount Rushmore, how you think this battle is described as the top person, how you think somebody is the A side. People have different ways of going about it. You know, the numbers thing, which is what league owners have to go off of when you determine who's your main event, who's your ticket seller, who gets paid the most. You're going to pay your biggest draw the most money, right? That's the type of stuff that's just undeniable, right? So if nobody is going to pull more pay-per-view, more YouTube views, more engagement on social media, get paid more, have higher percentages, et cetera, than Holla, then for league owners, that's the answer, you know. But fans and the rest of us, we could gauge all that type of stuff based on personal preference and just have the debate, and that's cool too. That's healthy too. That creates that helps and add to the grudge. I did some of that when I was promoting Max Out 3. I said, you got the biggest battle rapper versus the best battle rapper. That's just my personal opinion, though. There's people that don't share my opinion when I say Ill Will is the best battle rapper. There's people that don't share my opinion. When I say Hitman Holla is the biggest battle rapper, there's people that don't share my opinion. That's my personal opinion. So, you know, everybody's different. You know, it's not one of them controversial topics to me. I just think it's competitive, and are we talking about numbers or stats or accolades? Then it is what it is.
Let me ask you this, right? I know you and Hitman are real cool. You know what I mean? I wanted to ask this, right? He has a lot of dope matchups that could potentially happen, and I believe there's some more other battlers that could still go in there, right? What do you think? At least out of those three, are the biggest battles for Hitman? Is it
Say
Lux
the three.
and
Say the
Hitman?
three again. Say the three.
Okay, Lux versus Mook. I mean, Hitman versus Mook versus Lux, or Hitman versus Twerk. Which is the biggest battle out of those three?
You just said them in order, actually.
Oh, word! Just like that?
Yeah, you said them. They're all mega fights, but that
Wow.
really is the order. That really is the order. It's hard to debate that Mook versus Hitman isn't the biggest battle that's left. It's hard to debate that.
Okay.
I know some people might still want to compare, like let's say Lux and Daylight, right? And Daylight's profile is growing on the industry side, which is a good thing if he comes and does a battle.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
Lux is always going to be Lux, especially being that he doesn't battle that frequent. He's one of the forefathers. He's a consistent Mount Rushmore on a lot of people's votes. Lux is always going to be Lux. Twerk is like the new generation god. You know what I'm saying? He's not with Holla, Mook, and Lux, but when you start having the new generation guys, you talk about the Twerks and the Geechees and the Brit. You know what I'm saying? So Twerk,
Facts.
and then on top, and then he's so good. He battles real frequent. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I think that when you do a Hitman and a Twerk, you got to get a schedule where Twerk sits down for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let the whole thing roll out the right way, and let people miss things a little bit, and then boom. But they're all mega fights. They are all
I
three of them.
agree.